like it's holding up now. We should be good to go. Hello everyone, I'm Knee High Caliber, and we are back with another exciting episode of Knee High Caliber Plays War Thunder. And we are now in day 2 of the aircraft testing here at Wheeler Airfield. Currently we are sitting in the cockpit of a Vought SB2U Vindicator, specifically a SB2U2. All the planes they have here have the really old roundels, so it just goes to show you how long they've basically been using these planes. But yeah, this is another Navy plane. This time I'm in the cockpit, which is good. No middle seat in this one. But we're going to get this thing up in the air as soon as possible because we are worried about weather. I'm going to kind of cheat and use the landing settings to hopefully get us in the air soon. Okay. Alright. Got this crate in the air. Let's gain some speed here. Try and get this thing to work. Yeah, this is a dive bomber as opposed to the Devastator, which is a torpedo bomber. They were kind of using them both to train both areas of expertise individually, obviously. Might be something good to have for a little while longer. You can also use it to deploy mines. It may even be able to carry torpedoes, I don't know. I know now we have basically multi-role aircraft that can do everything, so again, we're just trying to figure out what we can use and what's useful and what's not useful, really. So yeah, not a lot can be said about this thing. The same way the Devastator, I mean, it does what it does, and it's a very specific piece of equipment. And we will find a use for it, one way or another. Yeah. I think this one. The one I'm less inclined to use is the Peashooter. If I ever have to sit in that thing again, it'll be too soon. Piece of crapola. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing. It doesn't have air brakes. It is carrier equipped, so that's good. At least has a seat for potential observer, I guess. And depends on how you look at that. Alright, let's get this thing to the ground. Easy enough to land. Oh, got a see-through floor here. The Buffalo has that too. I like that. You don't see that on a lot of modern bombers, but you see it on a lot of this here. else is breaking down. The Big Mother. Not a small plane. Wingspan alone makes it huge. And we came early. That's fine. Flaps up. I'm just going to keep it rolling towards the hangar. Oh, we got to go that way. Go that way. Go this way. Alright, speaking of Peashooter, I think Rainer's flying that one next. Good luck to him. Straighten up, fly right. I hope he gets it right. Obviously so. I didn't really donk my noggin yesterday, but could have. That headrest section was just a little bit smaller. Almost was. Alright. Put this thing to bed. Go see what's in the cafeteria this morning. And last but certainly not least, we still got the Bolo for later. Well, it's clearer now than it was before, so yeah, we'll probably have to go up later. That's fine. At least we'll have a longer runway to do that. Anyway, we are now sitting in a Curtiss P-36A Hawk. This is my old airplane. This is basically the first real fighter I ever had. Yeah. It's basically been used by the school. They took all 4 off our hands. And this goes back to 45th Squadron, by the way. This doesn't touch 47 Squadron. But yeah, they took the 4 that we had and used them for the school. This was mine, personally. And I almost want to add it back to squadron inventory for the 47th, but it serves more purpose here at the school. So without any further delay, let's get this thing here. Quick takeoff. Yeah, this thing is basically the last level trainer before you become a fighter pilot. And that's how they've been using it ever since 41, I think. Yeah, they get a lot of miles out here. You don't see them flying very often, usually just in the valley. I remember this thing. I don't know if I did a video on it or not. I might have done one video years ago on it, but I don't remember. I'll have to look. But yeah, this is definitely deeper. It serves a very specific purpose, and I guess until the P-40 gets really retired, it's going to be the trainer, at least for now, until we get designated trainers. I mean, this is all going to be what we can use and where we can scrimp and save. Yeah, this thing is, it's not modern, but it's as close to modern as can be, I would say. I think it's also called the Model 75 in Europe. I know they use them over there. We lend-leased this to a lot of people. I think we even gave it to the Chinese. French, the Russians might have gotten them. But yeah, this plane is brings back memories. It's a looker, that's for certain. It's got all the modern accoutrements except for carrier capability, but then again, it's an army plane, so it wouldn't. It's even got a hideaway tail wheel. Plane I don't mind flying for a bit. Been too long. I don't want to go over the mountain range. We'll just stick to the local area. It's good in a dive. The only weird thing about it is it has a 50 caliber machine gun and a 30 caliber machine gun. So the armament, I don't know why it couldn't be 250s, maybe because of the weight, I don't know. Later versions, I think, fixed that with wing guns, but yeah, this doesn't have. Good old 8-ball. Alright, let's put 8-ball on the ground. And then we'll see when we're going to be doing the next sortie. It's probably going to be a while because I heard they just started fueling the Bolo. So there's a B-18 Bolo coming up next. And we're probably going to ship it over to Midway to use for their training program, but it got added up last night. So they basically tacked it on our test list. So we may be sending it to them either way, but school might have a use for it too. It's a good, large plane. Basically a DC-3 bomber. But anyway, get to that when we get to that. Alright, gear down, flaps down. Yeah, Brainer kept bragging about his landing in the Peashooter. He's like, I could do it, how come you couldn't do it? I'm like, you barely did it, you were bouncing on the runway. I was watching him from the tower when he did that. That wasn't a perfect landing by far. But he did do it, I guess. He likes the Peashooter, I don't. Not anymore. Not after yesterday. Ah! Fell short of the runway. I'm going to hear it from him for that. Alright. Taxi this thing up. And then I guess we'll get a Jeep or something to go over to Hickam. Yeah, that's the problem. The Bolo can't really land here, although I can test that, but I'm not going to try it. Bolo's at Hickam anyway, so it just works out. Probably going to be a while before we get over there. See if they fix the coffee pot.